Good morning. Welcome to our Fun Fridays from the Field Career Chat with Northeast Iowa Community College. And today we are featuring Cascade Manufacturing. And we have Scott, who just arrived for the introduction, joining us from Cascade Manufacturing. So Scott, do you want to give yourself a quick introduction here? And then we thought maybe we'd launch into the video and do the questions after that, if you're all right with that.
Can you hear me okay? All right. Yeah, my name is Scott Wagner. I've been at Cascade Manufacturing since 2005 in a couple of roles. Started off as kind of the lean guy, if you want to call it that, involved in all aspects of the company, and then I've graduated to be Vice President of Manufacturing.
Do you want to explain a little bit about what lean is? Not too much detail, but just in case the students watching are not familiar with that term.
Yeah, so basically lean is looking at processes, people, resources, assets, and trying to optimize how they're used, eliminating waste, looking for areas for improvement to make things more efficient.
Excellent. Okay, and we're going to remind students that we will take questions in the chat as we go along. So Scott, is it okay if we launch into the video and kind of see the overview of everything, and then we'll have a discussion about some of the things we saw and make sure we answer the questions on the worksheet there?
Sounds good.
Gina, once I start playing this, just give me a thumbs up then that everything's good.
We'll do that.
Manufacturing. This is our wood plant division. Cascade Manufacturing has been around for 70 years. We just celebrated this year, so we'll just go through the beginning process of what we do and end process and go from there.
So tell us, Adam, this is where everything starts and your materials come in?
This is where everything starts out here. So we have all of our lumber separated by length, size, grade, and species. So we go from 2x3 all the way up to 2x12 lumber, 6 foot up to 20 foot. So process starts here with bundlers. There's gentlemen out here on forklifts that will get a pick list of what lumber they need for each order.
Okay.
And quantity, length, size, all that good stuff. So they will essentially kit it up, stack it on the forklift. They will put it on a strap and send it into our saws.
Okay.
So after our bundlers have it all kitted up for our saws, the saws will run it in. Sawyer will then pick on the computer which order we need to be cut. All of our saws are automated, so when the pieces come up, he just has to select a piece on the computer and the saw will set itself up. It will set the angles, length, and then blades will move, pairs will move, it will set itself up all by itself. So as they come out the other side, we have someone on the back side who then stacks it on a cart. They'll sticker it for what piece it is for the truss, and the cart gets pushed to the stage to be built. So after carts come to the table, they're actually going to the assembly process. So when the carts come to the table, they have everything they need, everything's labeled. So they start by jigging, which all of our tables in here are auto set. So by the computer, they'll set it. The pucks on the table will move into what dimension and what the truss calls for. Gentleman on top there then staples it together just to hold it together, and then they'll plate it with our wave plate. After they plate it, they'll run it through with the gantry press one time, which embeds the plates just enough to hold it together before the actual finished cut. Everything made here is custom ordered. We don't do just the same over and over again, so each job's different. So the first press is just one single roller just to push the plates in enough. This runs as two. This has two rollers in it, so it completely embeds the plates flat and secure. So you can see on this one, you can see how there's still gaps in it and it's not completely flush with the board.
Okay.
And then after it goes through the finish process, those gaps will go away.
So this is how you get them ready to be transported then?
Yep, so after an order is done and it's all stacked out here, it'll be banded and then set out in our yard. For everything we do down here, we track in a board foot per hour metric. So each table, each saw, each bundler has their set quota that or goal that we would like them to meet on a daily basis per hour. So we divide everything, total board foot of what you built divided by how many hours an employee was on there and by how many employees.
Okay. So tell me about like start time, end time, all that good stuff.
So we run 3 shifts. First shift runs 6 to 3:30, Monday through Thursday, and then on Fridays it is 6 to noon the majority of the time. 6 to 10 in the slower season. Second shift runs 3:30 to 1 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and then their Fridays consist of noon to 6. And then third shift starts at 11 p.m. and ends at 6 a.m. So there's a 2-hour overlap in between second and third. And third shift works 35 hours and gets paid for 40.
Oh wow, okay.
Excellent. Thanks for inviting us out, Scott, so we could take a look at everything.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, so some of the questions on the worksheet, I think students can figure out from that, like the working environment. They should be able to see that for themselves. But let's talk about the employability skills or the soft skills that students might need if they wanted to come into a career at Cascade Manufacturing. What do you think are the top soft skills that would be important?
Yeah, the first basic one would just be a willingness to work 40 hours. We enjoy people who communicate well, who are motivated, take direction, but also offer up thoughts and ideas because I've been here for 18 years. I'm used to looking at the same trees, so to speak, and we always welcome new ideas, and especially from the younger generation, they seem to have some good thoughts. So those are really it. And another one would be probably a willingness to jump in and try different things. So no matter what area of the company you're in, whether it's in one of the manufacturing facilities or in the truss office, if there's a problem that arises or if there's a process to be looked at, we enjoy people who jump right in and want to work and figure a new way, to do something. So
some problem solving there. Another thing we talked about when Adam was showing me around was the ability to do measurements. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so as it relates to the shop, I assume. So in our wood shop, as you saw, we're almost fully automated. The saws are run by computers. They set themselves up. They cut to length. They cut the angles that are required to build the trusses. Then at the table, we have an automated table system that will outline the cords and webs. And then our team assemblers place lumber on the table. It's very important. If you can imagine our trusses at a job site, all of those lines on the trusses have to plane through. If I'm a framing contractor and I want to put roof decking on, and the peaks of the trusses don't line up, we'll get a phone call. So although everything is automated, it requires a keen eye to keep an eye out for, those types of things. On the steel side, which we don't have in a video, but the steel side is much more manual, and we use tape measures, squares, eyeballs to set trusses up, and it really requires a good set of math skills, because that, like I said, that's a much more manual process and requires things to be probably down to the 16th or an eighth of an inch at most, which doesn't sound like much, but anything more than that could really cause issues at job sites. So
Absolutely. So, why don't you since we kind of launched into that, tell us about your other divisions, and because here we're really only seeing the lumber truss build division,
right.
but there's other career opportunities too that we didn't highlight in the video or visit that day.
Yeah, I think that would surprise a lot of people. So in addition to the truss or component manufacturing facilities, wood and steel, we have a company called Infrastructure Technology Solutions. It's an IT company that was spun off and is part of the Cascade Lumber umbrella. They specialize in, say, security systems, offsite data storage and security. Yeah, they're involved in a lot. Customers may include schools, banks, medical facilities. So we have that. We have an installed sales group through our retail division. We have a retail lumberyard in Cascade. And then off of that, we'll do anything from build houses to install gutters or reshingle roofs. And then we also have a flooring division. Pretty self-explanatory. You'll find yourself in somebody's home either remodeling something, putting new flooring down, or new construction. And we also have Monticello Carpet and Interiors in Monticello, Iowa, another arm of our retail division. So,
Well, I think we covered question 4 on the worksheet for students who are following that. So quite a few different career opportunities there. I was impressed with how high tech just what I saw was, but boy, when you're getting into those security systems, there's a lot of technology that goes into your company overall.
there really is, and obviously we take advantage of that too. So we're a customer of ourselves in that respect. So that's always nice too.
Very good. All right. So let's talk about classes that a student might want to take in high school, particularly if they wanted to go into what we viewed on the video today to get the skills to jump right in maybe and start working with you.
Yeah. So anything in the shop, really a high school diploma or better, we can work with. Anybody that demonstrates an aptitude in math, communication skills. Outside of the shop, we have plenty of opportunities, and I'm going to say we're really good at promoting from within. So if you demonstrate in one of the shops that you have an aptitude to, be a good communicator, a good team player, problem solver, you could graduate into the truss office. And then we have jobs in dispatch, scheduling, truss design, truss engineering. And that's where we could even work with somebody that's good with computers, may not require a formal 2-year certificate or 2-year degree. Some of the positions would, and would help certainly if you had a 2-year certificate from an NICC or a Kirkwood. Maybe a 4-year degree if you start talking about management positions. And again, we have a lot of employees who graduated from team assemblers to leads at a particular table, and then shift supervisors, plant managers. And then we offer kind of some on-the-job training through some local, community colleges and whatnot.
So you could jump right in, or you could say, hey, I'm really interested in maybe the design piece, and maybe you look at some sort of CAD certificate or something like that, it sounds like, or clear up to the 4-year degree you would look at for potential employees.
Right, right. We
Okay.
also have an internal seed program. So
Oh,
for instance, right now we've identified 3 internal employees who come recommended from their managers as people that we want to bring into the office and introduce them to scheduling, dispatch, design, engineering, human resources a little bit, because we see potential in them long term in, if they're interested in coming into the trust office. So voluntary, but a nice way to recognize good employees.
that is, being recognizing that talent and the potential people have. I think that's something students you want to look for when you're looking for that company. Am I going to be recognized for my skills and talents and be able to move up and maybe have a long-term career there like you have, Scott, which brings us to, you have been there for a while.
Yeah,
Adam has been there, I think, even longer than you when I talked with him potentially,
yeah.
and has moved up. So what do you like about your career that keeps you wanting to continue to help with things at Cascade Manufacturing?
I think every employee would tell you the same thing. When you start here, you're introduced to, again, whether you're in the shop or in the office, you're introduced to a, a whole gamut of tasks and activities and things that you could go, you could do. And I love that. Every day is different. It's not the same. The shops, again, if you're motivated, you could do anything from bundle to cut to stack to build, to work in our yard on the forklifts. And then in the truss office too, our dispatchers are problem solvers and assigning loads and allocating trucks and trailers and getting permits. It's fast paced and we work hard, but we also enjoy what we do. Matter of fact, this morning we brought in coffee and cinnamon rolls. We have food trucks come in. We'll have beanbag tournaments, euchre tournaments. So we like to work hard and play hard, which is really enjoyable. And being part of a small family-owned company like this, it's nice because usually the first questions asked are, how was your weekend? How was your family? It's not, right away, hey, let's get to work and, that kind of stuff. I've worked for big companies and it's a much, much different feel at a place like that.
That culture is so important to many of us, I know, and that's something maybe that students don't consider when they're thinking about future careers. So I appreciate you describing that culture to us a little bit.
Yeah.
So we do have a little bit of time. If there's any questions, be sure to put them in the chat. I am going to ask if there's anything you dislike, Scott, about your career.
No, maybe the second cinnamon roll I ate this morning was a little
Good answer.
Yeah, no, nothing really, honestly.
Excellent. Well, that's good to know. All right. Well, do we have any questions from our students? I know one that always pops up. I can't believe they haven't asked it. Is pay. So for entry level, I'm guessing it depends on the shift that you're on. And I heard Adam also told us, and hopefully the students heard that in the video. On third shift, you work 35 hours and get paid for 40. That seems like a pretty great benefit as well.
Yeah, exactly. So depending on the shift you're in the shops, 18.75 starting wage. There's a $2 shift premium for second shift. And then third shift has a $1 shift premium plus the bonus hour each day or 5 hours each week. So yeah, you work 35 hours, but get paid for 40. You have access to full benefits. Our PTO package is quite attractive. I know a lot of people are complimentary of our flexible time off. So in addition to working short Fridays, we also offer a generous PTO package. After 1 year, you're basically earning the equivalent, or during your first year, I should say, you're accruing the equivalent of 12 paid days off. After just 2 years, it's 17 days. And then after 7 short years, you're earning 22 days of paid time off. Now, and that's on top of paid holidays.
Right.
And then, 4 sick days.
And in addition to holidays and healthcare, I'm guessing you have all of that kind of good stuff for benefits.
Right. We offer matching 401k. We've been able to do that for a number of years in a row now. And then in addition to that, we've been able to offer profit sharing. So the company rewards or shares the rewards of our success as a company with employees as well, which is really good. So you can kind of celebrate the fruits of your labor a little bit at the end of the year.
Yes, and students think they're a long way off from retirement, but the sooner you start planning for that, the sooner you can achieve your goals for that milestone in your life. So we really appreciate having Cascade Manufacturing on today and having you join us live, Scott. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yes, any final thoughts for students as we conclude this career chat session with College and Career Connection from NICC?
No, the only thing I'm going to offer up is if you separate yourself here or anywhere else just by working hard, communicating, and willing to do different jobs and whatever it takes goes a long way. And I think we do a nice job of recognizing that. So,
all right, thank you, Scott. Have a fantastic Friday.
you too. Thanks, Gina.